how is everybody? I chose the horror TV filter. Whoa. Also, we might be going outside later because I keep hearing noises outside. So I went out with my flashlight already and my machete. So we'll see what happens. Anyway, this will be fun. This will be fun. I don't remember why I saved this news article. Oh, right. I have some fun things for us tonight. Depending on what happens and who is coming to the live stream tonight. I'm trying to find, where is it? Weird news? I had weird news. Random interesting. That's probably it. I had a weird memory. I've been reading a lot of the Epstein files for those of you who come later. And tell me if you have been searching them too. And tell me what you've searched for if you found anything crazy, because everything's crazy. But I watched a documentary about Epstein, and I've been looking through the files, and I know at least 2 people who are mentioned in the files. But it reminded me of when I was in community theater as a kid, that there was a couple of people like that involved. One of them said he would teach me how to act if I came to his house. And like my mom was going to drive me there. And then she was like, how old is this guy? And I was like, I don't know, 40. And she was like, something's not right about that. I don't think I'm going to take you there. And she didn't. And then I told my drama teacher at my high school, and he was like, that doesn't sound right. And then I never, ever heard of that guy again. Hi, welcome to Spooky Saturday. Naveen, hello. Prince Naveen from Princess and the Frog. Yeah? Are you from Louisiana? Here's a llama. There's a llama. You're a llama. It's a llama. She's a llama. He's a llama, 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 duck. Hi, James. I haven't heard that song in a long time. Did you ever kiss a llama? Hug a llama on the llama. Casey G. Hey, what's up, Casey? How you doing? Why is the video like this? I just thought it was cool. Sing one song. Thank you, Andre. Sri Lanka. Oh, okay, cool. That is different than Louisiana. Hello, Paige. And Brazil. I hail from California. I thought this would be a spooky filter. It's called horror TV. So I thought, oh, that's fun for spooky. I'm doing pretty good. Jacksonville, Florida, where Burt Reynolds used to live. Plus, I'm doing newspapers, so I thought this looks like I'm printed in the newspaper as like, she's missing. Thank you. It is, right? I think it's so cool. I look like a missing person in the newspaper. Or like, wanted, person of interest. I don't know. Last scene, screaming at somebody. I don't know. I like it. I think it's cool. But it's also very spooky. But yeah, I was saying to the rewatch team before any of you showed up, I was saying I've been looking through the Epstein files, and I was finding a lot of stuff of like people I actually have met in life are in there. And like, what a small world it is. But yeah. Anyone else? Anyone else having some existential drama? Oh yeah, Mr. Home. He was a douchebag. Did you ever see a llama kiss a llama on the llama? A llama duck. Thank you. Is this how it's told now? Is it also old? Is it made of doorknob, ankle, cold? I can't remember all the words. Yeah. I was only 3 years dead, but I told a tale. And now listen, little child, to the safety rail. Children's safety is your name? Oh my God. Everything is funny or nothing is. Oh yeah, that's right. I had a crossword I saved for you guys in case of that. Lost cause. Oh no. I have saved a lot of cool stuff for us. All right. Bye, Paige. Thanks for coming. Yeah, I haven't thought of that song in ages and ages. All right, let's see. So I have this San Francisco strange news from, what was it again? Let's see. See if it says on the top of the page. I guess not. I want to say 1871, but I'm not sure. Hang on. Let me. Okay. SF scary. Oh, 1873. So pretty close. I was close. 2 years off from the 1800s. Can you not joke about my profile name? Children's safety, you're not safe here because I'm a comedian. And so I'm going to do what I'm going to do. And you don't get to tell anybody what they're allowed to talk about because censorship is stupid. And that's how things become problems. When nobody talks about them, they can't be solved. So no. And you can censor someone else somewhere else. Bye. Don't bring in that BS into here. How dumb. Yeah. Yeah, chill. It's children's safety. Chill. Bro, you chatty. Well, you know, I am live streaming on the internet. Would you like to watch somebody sit in silence? I can meditate for you. Is that better for you? Because I'm here for you. You know, nobody's forcing you guys to be here. In fact, I'm going to force you guys to not be here. Because if you're going to be rude, you can be gone. But, all right. So, for the rest of us, I have spooky news from San Francisco. Thank you, Casey. Deported. From 1873 that I have dug up and found and brought for show and tell, specifically for Spooky Saturday, for those of you who are cool. Thank you. All right. So this is from the Daily Morning Call in San Francisco. And some of it is submitted by readers. Rude. Stop it. Do it in the voice of a lady in Wisconsin. Sorry, Gary. This is San Francisco news. So not tonight. But this is called The Visitor. The garden gate was quickly shut. The sound of footsteps nearer grew. I breathed a name and softly sighed, for well my visitor I knew. On either hand, white lilies bloomed, erect and shapely from the wall. The sweet-breathed roses trailed and swung, but she was fairer than them all. Within the shadow of the vine that wreathed the little porch she stood. I caught a glimpse of ribbons gay that fluttered on her dainty hood. She gently knocked. No friendly voice made answer with its cheery call. The rising wind among the leaves blew fearfully, and that was all. Ah, chide me not that I delayed to lift the latch. She stands there still. For aught I know, she washed my clothes and came to dun me with her bill. So someone came to his house. He knew it was his laundry lady. He didn't want to pay her, so he left her at the front door. You're welcome. Hi, Tina. Thank you for the flower while I was reading about flowers. What a weird story. I haven't read any of these. I skimmed it and I saw some like specific words that I had searched for. So that's why I saved it, because a lot of like sketchy, spooky type terminology was in this whole page. And so I said, I'm going to keep this whole thing and I'm just going to read it with everybody. So that's what I'm doing for spooky. Yeah. But if you guys prefer, I can kind of proofread it. Let's see. I'm skipping one that seems, it's called The Evil Eye. Yeah, I don't know. This one, people think she's a witch. It's up to you guys. If you want, I can keep reading these weird things, or yeah, these are all like very flowery. Let's see. Maybe it's not as spooky as I thought. Let's see. Strange News SF. Whoa, look out, everybody. This one's got a dancing girl. All right, let's see. He danced too joyfully. Oh, I think I might have read that one before. On here. Los Angeles, October 12th in the 1800s. Police who suspected dishwasher Francisco A. Provencio's joyous dancing on the sidewalk was not entirely natural found 10 marijuana cigarettes in his pockets. A trip to his house revealed 119 more and $3,000 worth of marijuana. Back then, that was a big deal. Let's see. Bouncing invisible Indian, 2 more spooks go to court. The red skin was partial to big leather chair. Witness relates in $70,000 fight. 1944, that's when this one is. Not the marijuana cigarette. Oh my. Oh no. This is Hollywood, October 12th, 1944. 3 spooks today. I don't think they're talking about ghosts, you guys. This used to be a slur. Entered the suit of Arthur T. McDonald and his ex-wife to recover the $70,000 estate their son left to his wife of a few incarnations ago. Mrs. Shannon H. Carter, pretty 34-year-old realtor, oh my God, asserted medium and spiritual bride. Oh my God, it is talking about ghosts. I'm so sorry. Spiritual bride of the late Eugene H. McDonald. We may have to go outside. I'm just telling you. Denied on the witness stand that she had practiced occultism. She's she's a medium and spiritual bride, but she's like, hold on. I don't practice occultism. Okay. Something's not lining up. An acquaintance, Mrs. Bernice Stevens, doesn't she sound like a total square? Bernice Stevens testified that Mrs. Carter had told her of an invisible Indian who often visited her. His presence was detectable only by his invisible bouncing in a big leather chair, she said. Why is he bouncing? Why would a Native American bounce? But that's not all. But wait, there's more. An invisible monk also stood guard over the crib of Mrs. Carter's small daughter, while Mrs. Carter's dead grandfather sometimes dropped in for chats, generally about real estate deals, the witness said. There's more. Mrs. Carter told her, she said, that she and Mr. McDonald had been married in an earlier life and that he had caused her to be thrown from a horse and killed together with the child. Did they ride horses like holding babies? Weird. Which would have been Mr. McDonald's. In the present incarnation, she and Mr. McDonald were bound by a silver cord. To right his supposed wrong of the previous incarnation, the parents maintain Mr. McDonald left his entire estate to Mrs. Carter. So in 1944, this woman said, I'm a medium and your husband killed me and our baby in a past life. And so his parents, and your son, and so his parents said, we're going to leave his entire estate to you? He died in a hunting accident January 16th. With him at the time were Mrs. Carter, her son and daughter, and another man. Mr. McDonald's gun discharged when he was putting it into his car. They just put this in the newspapers, you guys. They just wrote it down just like it is. Blowing the top of his head off. Could they have phrased that better? Mrs. Carter denied from the stand that she had loaded the gun or induced him to buy it. What? What? What a bizarre story. Oh my God, you guys. I can't deal. I can't deal. That is a weird... All right, here's another one from the same page, the very same page. Professor Barry's witch. Will she stay down? Britain's wonder. This is the San Francisco News when they used to care about the rest of the world also. So this is from Great Lays. Does anybody live there, and is it true? Great Lays, Essex, England, October 12th, 1944. 9 perspiring burgers, pinned. No, you guys, the language in this is like, this is from the 40s in the newspaper. I don't feel comfortable reading some of the terminology. Okay, they're calling her a spook too. Okay, so should I just read it through just the way it is, just for historical context? Because this is like slightly uncomfortable for me. Okay. Great Lays, Essex, England, October 12th, 1944. 9 perspiring burghers pinned the witch of Scrapfaggot Green. Apparently that's the name of a town. Down under her stone. All right, they pinned her down under her, I'm assuming, tombstone. Once more today. Once more? What? Hi, Maria. This is Spooky Saturday. These are old newspapers. Spooky news. But a skeptical little man. They called him a little man just out in the newspaper for everybody to see. A skeptical little man named Walter Devish watched from the sidelines and offered to bet the perplexing spook would be out of her grave again when the clock strikes midnight. Professor Confident. Professor Harry Price of the London Council on Psychical Research. This is 1944, you guys. Where was I? Who directed the laying of the ghost by pointing with his umbrella, was more confident. Is he the Penguin from like Batman? Is he like, put it there? I don't know. I don't remember how Penguin talks. Yeah, see? I don't know. I don't know how he talks. I don't remember. The TV Penguin, not Danny DeVito. Or the new one. Let's see. He says, Professor Price, with his little umbrella, that should fix her, lads, Professor Price said, as the big gray stone was shoved back into what he hoped was the position it lay in before a Yankee bulldozer scraped it off the resting place where the witch had slept these last 200 years. Little water. So wait. So this grave had a witch in it for 200 years, and then she got out, and they said that she would be out again before midnight. But they're putting a big old block over her, a concrete, a gray stone, big gray stone. Okay. On the other hand, the little man called Devish, this is so much bullying. Okay, Darla, good for you. This is so, would AI say that you're dumb? All right. On the other hand, the little man called Devish said, rubbish. What did you say? He was asked. I said rubbish, Mr. Devish answered, and I mean rubbish. She won't stay down. You can't keep a good witch down. Why won't she stay down? Warden W.J. Sykes, proprietor of Ye Old Queen Anne's Castle Inn. Hasn't like Mythos been there? I've heard about that, right? Is that a place that's still there? Why would that be mean? AI people are like perfect. Anyway, fine, whatever. They printed this in the news. This is bizarre. It's written like a novel. Why won't she stay down? Warden W.J. Sykes. I'm just going to think Wanda Sykes Hall. Wanda Sykes, proprietor of Ye Old Queen Anne's Castle Inn and leader of the 9 stout witch layers, asked, oh my God, there was a job called a witch layer. And I'm assuming it meant burying them and not laying them. Laying them to rest and not just laying them in good lay. In Great Lay, Essex. Dude, the old newspapers are so much fun, Tina. So yeah, I want to be a witch layer. Can I be a witch layer? Because, Mr. Devish said, you've got the blooming eye pointed sideways. If she's been buried for 200 years, how does she still have like eyes that you can tell what direction they're looking in? I've been past this stone every day for 44 years, and the eye always pointed up. Mr. Devish pointed at an indentation in the stone resembling an eye. Oh! Now I get it. So not like an eye. Not like her eye, but like an eye. Let's see. Mr. Devish pointed... Oh, I already said that. At that point, Professor Price, umbrella in hand, because he's a cartoon character, waved farewell to the witching party, shouting that he had to catch a train back to London to see if he couldn't hold up the presses on his latest book and add a chapter on the Scrapfaggot phenomena. The eye on the stone, yes. Fingers pinched. The only comment from the burial party came from Mr. Sykes. Scrolling back up. Damn me, he shouted to his companions as they still tugged at the stone. Now, the reason I pronounced it like that is because they spelled it D-A-M-M-E. Damn. So I don't know if he was saying dame, as in she's a woman, or as in like damn of hell or something. I don't know. So, oh no, it was damn. Yeah, it was damn. It was an expletive, and they printed it in the newspaper. Damn, he shouted to his companions as they still tugged at the stone. Hold on, I got me bloody fingers pinned. Oh my God. What a weird... People were hilarious in the 40s. Oh, pawns. The operation for the relaying of the stone was planned at a breakfast table conference at the inn. So is the old Queen Anne's Castle Inn still there? I'm going to look it up. I need to know. Tell me, spooky girl, because I need to know. I need to know. Can you see my kitties on there? No, not really. No, kind of. Are you trying to sign in? I don't know what's happening. Hold on. What's it called again? I was trying to do... What is it called? There it is. Ye Old Queen Anne's Castle in Essex. Yeah, Ye Old Queen Anne's Castle in Essex, often referred to as simply St. Anne's Castle in Great Lays, is a historic hostelry with roots as a medieval pilgrim's resting place. Huh. Gained notoriety in the 1940s, linked to local witch legends. Damn me. Its fingers were stuck. Okay, cool. So it's still there. I bet it's... We should send somebody there. Sorry about that. The stupid search function on my phone picked up my voice and thought that I was asking it a question. Anyway, we should ask somebody to go there. We should ask Beardo or Mythos. If they haven't been there, send you there. You'll go. All right, you go. Go to Old Queen Anne's. Report back and tell us how it is. Despite having spent half the night over foaming flagons, I'm assuming beer. No, he does not, Fragrance. You don't know that. You don't know me. You don't know our relationship. You can't comment on our relationship. What we do behind closed doors is between us. It's between me and Jesus. Despite having spent half the night over foaming flagons with Mr. Sykes, host of the inn, discussing the pranks and practices of restless spirits. Ooh, that would have been super fun to listen to. They were telling ghost stories. That's fun. Over some beers. The professor professed... Stop! I wish I knew who wrote this. They're hilarious. The professor professed himself fine and fit for the forthcoming... It's a lot of F's. Forthcoming tussle with the witch's ghost. Race against time. We are, gentlemen, working, in a sense, against time, said Professor Price at the breakfast table, emphasizing his points by jabbing his porridge spoon on the worn oaken boards. Sentence against time. So if he's not pointing his umbrella at people, he's slamming his spoon on the table. He's a prop comic. I respect it. I trust that you realize tomorrow is Friday the 13th. Oh no! So Friday the 13th has always been spooky, even before Jason Voorhees? That's cool. That's good to know. Frankly, gentlemen, I fear to think what mischief our poltergeist might cause if allowed to remain at large on that day of dark omen. Oh no. Crikey, Professor! This is real life, you guys. This is real life. Crikey, Professor! Exclaimed Mr. Sykes. You'd better get her under today or we're in for it. How do you calculate to get her under? Under the circumstances. See how they said under and then under? This is hilarious. Under the circumstances, said the professor, I believe we are justified in the assumption she does her weird work only by dark. At dawn, no doubt, she returns to the grave where she was buried after being burned at the stake 200 years ago. We must endeavor to clamp the rock over her breast in the same position it held before the American bulldozer chappie brushed the stone aside when he was widening the road last week. Now, finally, almost halfway through this article, we finally know why she was resurrected after 200 years. Because they moved her tombstone and they're blaming Americans already. That's fine. That's fine. I'm sure even back then we were used to it. And back then we still deserved it. So, here we go. Soldier can't help. Mr. Sykes interrupted. Can't we get the bulldozer chappie over from the American base, Professor? He might be able to help us get squared away. I mean, push it back with the tractor that you moved it with. He should. If he's the one that moved it, he should come put it back where it was. That makes sense to me. Anyway. That, I fear, said the professor, is impossible. I have already consulted the American military, Mr. Sykes, and I regret to inform you that it is their best belief and information that the soldier in question has departed for the continent with an airborne unit. Bye-bye. Godspeed, sir. Hello, Steve the Berry. Mr. Price spent yesterday with Mr. Sykes investigating evidence of the pranks credited to the poltergeist, from letting sheep out of the walled pastures to setting rabbits on hen eggs. Bunny, would you eat chicken eggs? Bunnies don't eat meat. Hi, Kathy Lee. No worries. Do I live in Hollywood? No. Not too far away, but no. Why? Should I? What makes you think that I do? Rabbits on hen eggs. Is that a thing? Do bunnies hurt chickens? I've never heard of that. I've heard of foxes and raccoons messing with chicken eggs, but bunnies? Oh, we are black and white. We're in the newspaper. I've never used any of the filters on YouTube before, and I was sitting here looking at it, setting it up for my live stream, and it said, do you want to try one? And I was like, oh, let's try it. I don't know. I think it's interesting. I think it's pretty cool. This is called Horror TV, this filter. Mr. Sykes, first to burst. See, this writer is great. Yeah, bunnies don't eat eggs. That's a weird poltergeist prank. Mr. Sykes, first to burst in as they returned to the inn last evening, announced breathlessly to a coterie of villagers having their flagons of the mild and bitter. They could have just said nothing right there. That's nothing. Mr. Sykes was the first to arrive where the locals were drinking. I don't know. That's like, you don't have to, that's a detail we didn't need. But he wanted to say first to burst, I'm sure. Quote, "It's the real thing, boys. The professor here says it's a bona fide He says it's a witch, all right." He couldn't pronounce poltergeist. You guys, stop. The gangling psychic expert fingered his bowler and carried on. "Mr. Sykes is substantially correct," Mr. Price said. "We have accumulated incontrovertible evidence of authentic spiritual phenomena from the lips of, shall we say, the victims." Why shall we say? What victims? The sheep or the eggs? Did the eggs tell you that a ghost let the bunnies in? This is really fun. Messengers Price and Sykes had taken voluminous notes from women whose book jackets had been switched. Oh no! They changed up all the book jackets. How will I know which one is Wuthering Heights? Help! Sounds like a bad script. I think it's a great script. Oh no! Farmers whose haystacks had been blown over on the windless nights. Oh no! I have to scoop it up again. And Mr. McIntosh, the guy that started the apples, who, hearing his door open, felt the freezing presence of a lump in bed beside him for a moment and then heard his door slam. What? I'm going to read that again. Mr. McIntosh, who, hearing his door open, felt the freezing presence of a lump in bed beside him for a moment and then heard his door slam. Was the lump still there? That's the end of the article? What? Stop it. Ah! Ah! No! That's everything. No! Well, I hope you all enjoyed Will She Stay Down? That was hilarious. I mean, I hope you all enjoyed it as much as I did. That was super weird. Oops, what's happening? What have I done? I clicked on something. Not a cliffhanger. What became of the lump? Yeah, was it still there when the door slammed, or was that the sound of it coming in and then going out again? We do, right? All right, so that didn't do anything, apparently. It just needed to think about nothing. And so my computer made me stop doing everything. All right, let's see. This is called The White Lady. Of course it is. Superstition in the Palace at Berlin. Ooh. Oh, wait, let me see what year. Oh, I don't know. I didn't. Sorry. Usually I try to save it in the title of the file when I save the screenshot, but I guess I forgot. It does seem like another very old article, though. It's like really hard to read. A curious superstition prevails in Berlin. So you can tell how old it is by how weird they talk. Just once can there be a pink or purple lady? I know. She's always white. Or a lady in blue or black or red. Lady in red. I don't know if that's a thing. I don't know. Up or plaid or a rainbow. I feel like people have died who would totally come back as rainbows. So I don't know. The state of the Emperor of Germans is precarious, and an old legend is revived by the credulous. A Berlin correspondent of the London Daily News writes the following. It is ominous for many that the White Lady has lately been seen at the castle. Did you ever hear the legend of the White Lady of Berlin Castle? Can we just have one or two, like one of those sentences? We don't need them both. This is a lot. Many, many years ago, there was I don't speak German, you guys, but I'm going to do my best. There was a Hohenzollern princess, a widow with 2 children who fell in love with, became enamored of is perhaps a more courtly phrase. That's unnecessary too. A foreign prince, rich, handsome, and brave. She sent him, see, they don't say which prince, so we can't check their sources. We can't be like, who's that? Nope, they won't tell us. She sent him a proposition of marriage, but this brave and handsome prince declined her suit, explaining that 4 eyes stood between him and acceptance. Was she wearing glasses? Oh, is he a bully? What? 4 eyes. Oh. Oh no. He referred to his aged parents, whom he was unwilling to leave, or whose consent he could not obtain. The version of the legend varies a little here, but the princess understood him to refer to the eyes of her 2 children and to his unwillingness, in fact, to become a stepfather. Oh, bye, Paige. Okay, so he said 4 eyes are keeping them apart. And she thought, oh, it's because I have kids and he doesn't want kids. And he meant his parents. What a weird way to talk. Can people just say what? It's like an episode of Frasier. This is so stupid. Just tell them what you mean. Okay. So, like Richard III, she promptly suffocated the infant obstacles and wrote to her lover that the way was clear. I have closed those 4 eyes. Come on out, baby. He was stricken with horror at the cruel deed. He revealed her fatal mistake to her and died cursing her bloodthirsty rashness. He was like, what are you? I didn't mean. What is wrong with you? The princess, in her turn, was overwhelmed with remorse, as she should be. After lingering a day or two in indescribable anguish, she too died and was buried under the old castle at Berlin. Now somebody has to go there and tell us what they find. But not to rest quietly in her unhappy grave. At rare intervals, she appears at midnight. Why is it always midnight? Why isn't it like 8:15 a.m.? Clad in white, gliding ghost-like about the castle, and the apparition always forebodes the death of some member of the Hohenzollern family. 3 times, the White Lady has been seen 3 times within about a year. Once in October last year, just before the death of Prince Albrecht. Last spring again, to announce the end of Prince Albert. And the last time while Queen Elizabeth lay on her deathbed. There is, however, some doubt about the meaning of the last visit. The Queen Dowager is not a born Hohenzollern, and the doctors are not certain that her death can be regarded as the answer to the White Lady's appearance. If not, there is another victim to be expected, and the superstitious know not what it means. The professors of the university are trying to solve this knotty problem, and you shall know the result at the earliest moment. Sometimes it's 3:15. Oh, well then, that's when I would do it if it was me, if I was a goose. If I'm ever a goose. What a horrible person. Who would kill their children for a man? And why does it happen so often? I don't like it. Let's see. Let me see. I tried to save a bunch of spooky stuff for Spooky Saturday, but I don't remember where I put it. So I'm going to do my best in trying to find it. This one's taking a moment to load. Aha. Oh. Okay, well, that's not spooky. That's just sad. All right, let's see. Today is your birthday. Well, happy birthday, Alex. Okay, I think I read to you guys Soldier Digs His Own Grave. And then I think I was reading to you guys about Mr. Home, the psychic. Is this Mr. Home? Yes, that's Mr. Home. So I told you guys about him already. All right, let's see. Hauntings. Boom. You're welcome. Thank you, Kathy Lee. It looks like my Game Boy camera. Wow. Deep cuts. Is it dark up there or is it? Yeah, it's just like specific. That's part of the filter, I guess, to have that cut off. Cool. Let's see. This is from 1924. It says, this fellow is seeing stars. A new comet is reported just abaft the sun. Now that these wanderers from interstellar space are no longer generally feared as supernatural harbingers of evil, they may almost be welcomed as visitors to relieve the loneliness of the solar system. The old sun and its few planets have no neighbors within calling distance, and but for an occasional comet, would be left so strictly alone as to be in danger of becoming provincial and forgetting the outside universe. Okay. Cool. Yes. And then I have an ad for a palmist in 1908 named Mr. Dowd. The renowned Oriental palmist. He is not Oriental, first of all. I'm going to show you. Oh, can you see it? Yeah. That is not an Asian dude, first of all. Anyway. All right. My plug fell out. I must replug. Repugnant. Brink and dink. There we go. All right, so Mr. Dowd. D-A-O-U-D. Mr. Dowd. Oh, I moved you guys. Sorry. Sorry about that. He will advise you on everything of interest to you. Mr. Dowd does not claim to possess supernatural powers, but he does claim to have the ability to scientifically interpret through the lines on your hand the conditions of your life with astonishing accuracy. That's Freddie Mercury. He does, right? Hold on for one more day. Let's see. Whatever may be your calling in life, whatever may be the information you desire, you will find that a reading of your hand by Mr. Dowd will be the means of inestimable inestimable benefits to you, both in business and personal affairs. And then there's his address opposite the Cairo Hotel. Positively, he does not receive anyone on Sunday. No fortune telling or finding lost articles. I'm really good at finding lost things. Anytime people lose something and they tell me that they lost something, I'm like, oh, it's over there. And then they look and there it is. Someone lost their keys at the park here recently in a big old baseball field. And they thought it could be anywhere. And I was like, it's in their car. They locked their keys in their car. And then they went back to their car and they were like, we found them. And they were all embarrassed. And I was like, yeah. Anyway, I'm pretty good at that. I know where chargers are. I can always find. Whoa, that's so cool. What's happening? So this is about hauntings, but it's a 3-column news article, and the middle one is printed upside down. Not yourself, though. Yeah, that's true. If I lose something, it's gone forever. I'll never see it again. All right, this newspaper was scanned really dark, so it's going to be hard to read, so I apologize. It's a little blurry, and the middle is upside down, so I don't know how I'm even going to do this, but I'm going to try. Next time I lose something. Yeah, let me know. Have you ever experienced the supernatural personally? Yes, Cap'n USA, all the time. Oh, that's right. I was going to tell you guys. Okay. This is a new house. You may recognize that there's a different backdrop behind me. But new house. Moving. During the moving process, I was carrying stuff from one to the other because they're right next to each other. And as I was walking empty-handed from the new house to the old house to get stuff, something, and I don't know what or why, I haven't figured out anything about this yet, but something pressed with like, I don't know, it felt like a phone, but it was not a phone, but it felt like some sort of solid object pressed into right under my rib cage here and then dragged back. And then like it felt like it stayed there. And it freaked me out. I stopped walking and I was like, and I grabbed it and I was looking around and I could still feel it. And I was like, what the hell just happened? There was nobody there. And I had a flashlight because there's no electricity in the old place. So I was like looking around. There was nothing there. But I felt it like lingering for a while. And it it hurt. But I was like, what the heck was that? And I said, excuse me, could you not do that? Like, I don't mind interacting with spirits, but don't like jab me with your flipper hand or whatever that was. It hurt, man. And it felt like it was there for a minute. So it was like, what happened? Why? So I've been trying to figure out who that could have been and why they would have done that. So there's a lot of people who died here. And 23 of them died in the same day. I don't know. But some of them were crushed to death. And I'm wondering if somebody had something like crush them right there. And they were trying to tell me that that's how they died. And that's how I would know who they were. But I don't know like who died in what way. Like I don't have those specific details. They don't put that in the newspaper. Like, oh, this person died this way and this person died this way. Like they're not going to itemize specific cause of death and how everybody, like that's super, super morbid. They're not going to put that in the newspaper. So like, there's no way for me to know who that was. But it was super disturbing for me. And there's like, I'll never know who that could have been. You were able to get a discount. Good thinking. A discount on what? What? What's your favorite cheese or cheese flavored snack? Havarti. Wait. Maybe cream cheese with celery. Are you saved? No. I am a corrupted hard drive. I'm not backed up at all. Pretty regular, actually. Something would knock on my bathroom door when I was in the bathroom at 2:30 in the morning. Do you live alone? Well, I don't need to go to the UK. I just need to visit you to investigate. Dude, everywhere I go, something happens. These things made me angry. The house. Regular or flavored? Regular. I've tried that flavored ones. They're the only one I kind of don't mind is jalapeno, but I never finish it. For God so loved the world that he gave. Maintainment. We don't need you to force your beliefs on us without our consent. But thanks. This is why you don't have any friends. I have no idea what people are talking about. Just go with it. Just go with it. Hi, Leanne. Try strawberry on an onion bagel. Ugh. I hate onions so much. Onions are the devil. Onions are poison. Ugh. Unless they are fried, like battered and fried. Like a bloomin' onion is pushing it because a lot of it is like slimy. But an onion ring that is extra crispy and all dried out on the inside, I'll eat that. Or like a crispy fried onion that goes on a burger that's mostly just breading. I don't like onions. I like fried breading. I will eat the fried breading off a clam strip and spit the clam out. I will eat the breading off a shrimp. I'll eat the breading off some orange chicken. I really just like the bread. 10 years in jail or the Diddy party. You are a nerd. The Diddy party. They have layers, though. They do. This is my jacket from the Jake and the Neverland Pirates commercial, by the way, if anybody was wondering. This is my little hoodie from that. Most people like the fried breading over the contents. Totally. I don't need any of that. And then any nutrition from whatever you're deep frying is gone anyway, so you might as well just eat the bread. Although I do like some fried fish, some cod. If you've ever had a spooky thing happen to you, you are welcome to share that in the comments, just like the guy with the bathroom door. I'll read it. I enjoy it. I like it. But yeah, that thing was... Oh! Also, so glad you asked me about my own experience. Hi, Bunny. Bunny. Oh my God, we have to let her out. All right, Bunny. All right. Grr. All right. We're going to the bunny here. All right, Bunny. You want out? Hi. You want to come out? You want to come out, Bunny? My baby that I love. My baby. You're my baby. You're my baby bunny that I love. I love you. You want to come out? You want to come out and play, Bunny? Nope, she doesn't. She's like, don't you touch me. Don't you pick me up. I hate you. She doesn't like to be picked up. All right. She knows the only way she can come out is if I pick her up. And she does not want to be picked up. All right. Well, then you're not coming out. Onion rings and sauteed onions. Ugh. Oh, it's like worms, little wet worms. Oh. Philly steak with green olives. I used to eat green olives just because they were at a bar. There was a time in my life when I didn't have time to eat and I was always forced to be sitting in a bar somewhere. And so I lived off of garnish, like drink garnishes, like olives and cherries and orange wedges. And those are not clean, you guys. Those are not food safe to eat. But I ate a lot of green olives. We don't do politics. Oh, did somebody say something? Oh, hi, the Super Penman Bros. Super Pen Man Bros. I don't know what that says. Okay. Sauteed mushrooms. Oh my God. Outback Steakhouse has fried breaded mushrooms, like the little button mushrooms that are all marinated. And they come with like the bloomin' onion dip. Oh my God. It's so good. Oh, is there an Outback Steakhouse near me? I need to know. Butter chicken and flatbread. 30 minutes is a long time to be like preparing to eat. I would like to eat right now. Let's see. I'm going to find out. Outback Steakhouse. No, it doesn't let me sort by distance. Rude. 31 miles. Where? Ugh, that's so far. Not worth it. No, forget it. See, that's like a 30-minute drive. I'm not waiting that long to eat. It depends on if you have to climb out the window. Yeah, I would just order delivery. I would have a little pulley system with like a dumb waiter outside. Just hand it up to me. Or like a trash bag on a rope. I've been spending so much time cutting up cosmic apples. I eat like 2 a day. If I have them, I eat them. I eat 2 a day. I've already had one today. And I cut them really thin. And I dip the skin side, because that's where it will stick to. I dip the skin side into the sunflower butter. And it is so good. I eat 2 apples a day. And I look forward to it. And I would rather eat that than ice cream. It's so good. And I'm sure it's not like, I'm sure my blood sugar is like, but I don't even care. I don't even care. It's worth it. I love it so much. It makes me so happy. Oh, for those of you who don't know, I have 2 members only videos this month that I put out because I got locked out of this new house already and had to climb in the emergency window on a ladder that was not tall enough. And I thought I was going to die. Thank you. And I'm covered in bruises. I wonder if I could show you. Yeah, I am covered in big dark bruises all over my legs. Like, I don't know if you can even see, but like I am beat up from climbing in this window. And then the door just opened like nothing happened. Eventually it just popped open on its own. I was like, that tracks. I still don't know why. Yeah, the window over the sink is not an emergency window. It's not big enough for a human to fit in. It was not big enough for the top of my rib cage. I got this far in and I could not get it past my chest plate, my rib cage. Like, couldn't. I tried. I took off every layer that I could take off and I could not pour myself into that window. I am not built like a cat or a rat. Yes. But yeah, it was awful. But it works now. The door works now. It's got a new handle, new lock, new key. But of course I had to go through all that first. Yay. Okay. So I don't know how I'm going to read this. It was a ghost that locked you. Oh my God. Maybe it is, actually. Oh, that's right. I was going to tell you. Okay, so we moved all our stuff in. Hey, Mike. Oh, thank you. Right? Yeah. I thought I was going to fall to my death. Um, I'm afraid of heights too. So I did not like, I knew I could do the pull up at the top, but I was very, hey, Crow Jedi's! Crow and Mike. Oh, the moonlight. I am. How did you know? That was a good eye that you recognize that so quickly. Good job. We're reading old newspapers, and YouTube offered me this filter as a suggestion, and I was like, yeah. I mean, yeah. I wanted to show everybody my new place in the most flattering way possible. So I said, here's what it would have looked like in the newspaper in the 60s or the 20s or the 1800s. So do you guys remember that little super offensive racist doll that I tried to remove from the thrift store because it was, I didn't want anybody to get upset that it was there. And I felt like it should be donated to a history museum or something and not like sold at a thrift store to the wrong people. If you remember, that doll got out of a closet where I had locked it and sat on top of the phone of a person who didn't know that doll was there. Just sitting on top of their phone when they were all alone. So I took the doll home to see if anything weird would happen with it. And I showed it to you guys very quickly on a live stream because I didn't want to offend anybody. And then you guys and I talked about it, and we all decided I should just take it back and put it away where no one would find it. So I put it back at the thrift store in a storage room that was locked. No, it was just from a thrift store, just a thrift store. And I put it there, and then I quit. I stopped working there or volunteering there or whatever. And I didn't go back there ever. And that was over a year ago where I got the bunny. Okay. Over a year ago. Now, moving into this new place, I hear from the other room, oh no. And I go, what? What's wrong? Where did this come from? And I go, what? That doll was in a bag from the underwear drawer that gets used every day. Somehow that doll got into that bag during the moving process and appeared in this current home. How? Why? How and why? There's no way. There's no explainable way for that thing to be here. There's no way. How? I put it over the bed because I don't want it like out in the living room where people can see it if there's guests. But obviously it wants to be here. So like, what am I supposed to do with this thing? I don't want to upset people. No, JRR. No, Raven. I don't do that. I've actually never done that my whole life. What if someone grabbed the wrong bag? No, it was underwear that gets like changed every day. You know what I mean? Like it's a place that was commonly looked into. I don't understand. Like I genuinely can't figure out how, and I don't know why. Why the powers that be want me to, I don't want this. I don't want it. It stresses me out because people are going to think there's no good reason for me to own this thing. and have it in my house. Like, if anybody were to see it and get upset about it, what am I going to be like? Oh, well, it's haunted. And that makes me sound more racist. Oh, well, it's haunted and it wants to be with me. Like, narcissism and racism. There's no good explanation as to why I should send it to you. I would totally do that. See what happens. I mean, that's what happened. I don't want any more. It's never done anything except showed up. It just keeps showing up in places. It's never like caused a fire or done anything bad. I thought I saw something move. Now I'm all in my head about it. But like nothing bad's ever happened associated with it, and nothing else has ever been moved. Just that thing keeps showing up where it doesn't need to be. No. I don't like it. I mean, I know where it came from. I know what its purpose was, so I don't like it. Ugh. But like, that's weird. And that wasn't even discovered until after I had something like jabbed into my side. More than likely nothing but a lifelong friendship with the doll. I didn't see that live. I want to see the doll. Okay. All right. I'll get her. I'll go get her. Ugh. Hold on. Hi, Bunny. Baby, did I love? What? All right. So she's offensive. So trigger warning. Offensive historic doll. Are you ready? Because you understand and we'll keep it from being misused. I mean, I'd love to give it to a museum, but I don't know where any are. Yep. All right. So here she is. She's cute. I don't know. God. I treat her with great respect. I have put her in a place of honor. All right. Here she is. She's got that going on. Her dress is red. The little bows in her hair are red. Her lips are red, since you can't tell, but that's her. If you were a little kid and you wanted like a doll that looked like you, she's pretty cute, but I don't know why she keeps showing up in my house. But that's her. I don't know how old she is. She's obviously handmade. There's no like tag or anything. I don't know. I don't know anything about her. She doesn't have like, I don't know. I love her. I know. Black Cynthia from Rugrats. Oh yeah, she does have Cynthia hair. Yeah. Well, I put her like over the bed with her legs crossed like a lady. So I don't know. I'm doing my best to give her respect, but like that's super sketchy. Someone's grandma made it. Maybe. I don't think that. I just don't feel like it was made for the people that it should have been made for. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. It's iffy. Crow, are you still here? Can you tell us a ghost story that happened to you? I hope so. I hope you guys are right, because, I mean, I don't know. She's always following us around. All right, so this is a news article called What Was It? Let me see what year it was again. 1907. Okay. And like I said, it's a 3-column article, and the middle column is printed upside down for some reason. You know what I don't understand? How come every time I pick my nose, it's full again in a few minutes? Stop picking it. It's kind of like if you clean your ears all the time, they think they need to produce more wax to protect your ear from stuff. And so cleaning your ears all the time makes them, or like putting lotion on all the time makes your body think it doesn't have to moisturize its own skin. And so it actually produces less moisture and it creates an issue. Anyway, just love her. That's all dolls want. Okay, well, she's pretty well taken care of over here. Research, I could look her up. Like I said, I think she's handmade, so I don't know that she'll come up in a search, but maybe something similar to her. I don't know. All right. What was it? 1907. This is in the newspaper. I live on a quiet street in New York. The home has enjoyed, for the last 2 years, the reputation of being haunted. It is a large, stately residence surrounded by what was once a garden. The house is very spacious, a hall of noble... I don't know what that word is. It is blurry. It could be A-I-S-E. Noble A's, like man A's. Hey, thank you, Shakti. Thank you, Shakti, for the super chat on a spooky Saturday. AI didn't even tell you what. What? Didn't tell you what? I have to know. Let's see. Leads to a large spiral staircase winding through its center, while the various apartments are of imposing dimensions. I don't know what that means either. It was built by a well-known New York merchant who threw the commercial world into convulsions by a stupendous bank fraud. So this has always happened. What? Oh. 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 All right. Well, you're welcome. All mucus is there for a reason. So if you keep removing it, it'll produce more to do its job, to protect you. Let's see. He escaped in Europe and died of a broken heart. His money didn't save him. His stolen money. Oh, no. Pig, the bass player from Mushroom Head. What? Eh? Almost immediately, the report spread that the house was haunted. A caretaker and his wife declared that they were troubled with unnatural noises. Doors were opened without any visible agency. Remnants of furniture were, during the night, piled one upon the other by unknown hands. Invisible feet passed up and down the stairs in broad daylight, accompanied by the rustle of unseen silk dresses and the gliding of viewless hands along the balusters. Why not, Preston? Weird. So a dude who committed bank fraud and fled the country died. And now the house that he built is haunted by women in dresses. Make it make sense. How? Explain. This isn't mathing here. The caretakers declared they would live there no longer. The house agent laughed and put others in their place. He was like, haunted, okay, whatever, fine. It's the new big thing, is it? Cool. I've never been in style. Let's see. The house agent laughed and put others in their place. The noises and supernatural manifestations continued. The house remained untenanted for 3 years, so the new people left immediately. It was then that our landlady, who wished to remove farther uptown, they talked weird back then. Oh, don't start, SBC. Do not start. I'm going to, no, 100%. You are gone forever. Okay. It was then that our landlady, who wished to remove farther uptown, conceived the bold idea of renting this house. Ooh. It is faulty. It's my faulty. Let's see. Happening to have rather a plucky set of boarders, she laid her scheme before us, with the except... Oh, okay. It didn't print the "in," but I can see its shadow. With the exception of 2 timid persons, all of Mrs. Moffat's... Is this a true story? Mrs. Moffat's guests declared they would accompany her into the abode of spirits. Of course, we had no sooner established ourselves than we began to expect the ghosts. We absolutely awaited their advent with eagerness. Things were in this state when an incident took place so awful and inexplicable that my reason fairly reels at the bare memory. I used to love Are You Afraid of the Dark? It was the 10th of July. After dinner was over, I repaired with my friend Dr. Hammond. Preston, if you... People don't give demons very much credit, do they? Okay. To my rooms to take our evening pipe. Oh! Oh! Sorry, this is a little snooty sounding here. Dr. Hammond and his ascot. Oh, yes. Talk about his boat. All right. The evening pipe. Let's see, where did I... independent of certain mental sympathies, the doctor and myself were linked together by a vice. We both smoked opium. Oh my God, you're seeing ghosts and you're both high on opium? Definitely a haunting. Oh my God. Yes, Preston. Lots of ghosts here. So we're about to read A Bad Trip, I'm assuming. No, that's a cool part. The good old days. This is 1907. 1907. All right, let's see. We enjoyed together that wonderful expansion of thought, that marvelous intensifying of the perceptive faculties, which I would not surrender for a throne, and which I hope you, reader, will never taste. Is he just saying, don't do drugs, kids? Did he just do that? These hours of opium happiness, which the doctor and I spent... Oh, where is it? There we go. Spent together in secret, were regulated with a scientific accuracy. While smoking, we carefully steered our conversation through the brightest and calmest channels of thought. Just say no, that's right. Isn't a psychedelic, it's a tranquilizer? Used to prescribe coke for ghosts. I mean, yeah. All right. If we talked of Shakespeare's Tempest, we lingered over Ariel and avoided Caliban. This skillful coloring of our train of thought produced in our subsequent visions a corresponding tone. The splendors of Arabian fairyland dyed our dreams. On the evening in question, the 10th of July, the doctor and myself drifted into an unusually metaphysical mood. Insensibly, we yielded to the occult force that swayed us and indulging in gloomy speculation. Just kidding. We had talked some time upon mysticism and the almost universal love of the terrible when Hammond suddenly said to me, quote, "What do you consider to be the greatest element of terror?" The question puzzled me. That many things were terrible, I knew, stumbling over a corpse in the dark, beholding as I once did a woman floating down a deep and rapid river with wildly lifted arms and awful upturned face, uttering shrieks that rent one's heart, while we, the spectators, stood at a window unable to save her. Jesus God. You know, dodgeball started because the Chinese would smoke opium and play with human heads. Jesus! Oh no! I confess, Hammond, I replied to my friend, I never considered the subject before, but there must be one. Something more terrible than any other thing, I feel. I cannot attempt, however, even the most vague definition. I am somewhat like you, Harry, he answered. Dude, it just got so cold in here, even though the heater is like aimed at me. Tim, no, you don't. And this is not the place. If you are like if you think this is funny, Tim, you're in the wrong place. If there's something you actually want to talk about, maybe don't burn that bridge before you even approach it. Ian Watkins Lee? Tim, I was thinking about this the other day because you know how, like, my brother used to say that to me all the time, and I used to yell at him, and I would like tell him exactly what I thought of what he was doing by trying to manipulate people by saying that to them. And like, what did he want to get out of that? What was he hoping to achieve by saying that? So what are you hoping to achieve by saying that? And then I watched, I think it was Mythos recently said something about that. And then Beardo recently also said something about that because somebody said it was cowardly. And then Beardo or Mythos or somebody said, like, no, it isn't. And that you can't say that or something like that. But I said that to my brother. And my brother actually ended up telling me that that's exactly what he needed to hear to like snap himself out of it. Because he was surrounded by people who were like, oh, it'll be okay. Everything's fine. You're so loved. Everything's going to be okay. And I was like, what the f is wrong with you? And he said, thank you. That's what I needed. He needed like to be shaken. But a lot of people do, Tim. A lot of people have watched that. A lot of people have seen that happen. I asked you a question that you haven't answered. What do you hope to gain? What do you want from us by saying what you said? What are you hoping we'll say to you? What are you looking for? What do you want? What's the goal in you saying what you said? Think about it. Get back to us. But anyway, I don't think it's wrong to say that to somebody who says that because it was exactly what my brother needed when he needed it, right? So that's one thing. But another thing is I've been there and I don't know if that would have helped me. Like everybody's different, you know? So that would not have helped me. But what I needed, what I would have needed was nothing, because what I was looking for was in me. So searching for that comfort outside of myself was like looking in the ocean for a pine tree. Like you're looking in the wrong place. If you're trying to find the answer outside of yourself, you're looking in the wrong place. So I had to get there in myself. Yeah. I mean, you derailed my YouTube live stream, but like, I'm not a monster. But so I'll talk to you. But I'm only going to talk to you for a second, you know? So like, there is nothing that any of us could say that's going to help you at all, because you're looking for answers outside of yourself that you can only find in yourself. You have to do it. Again, you haven't answered me, Tim, and I don't think it's funny. And nobody ever on earth will. There is not a person on earth that will ever think that that is funny or a good troll. No one ever will. So there's that. But so we don't think you're being funny because it's not funny. And we don't think you're trolling because if you were, you'd be like that's not trolling. You'd be doing it wrong. So whatever. But if you can't answer my question, then I'm going to need you to stop talking to us at all. So like I said, answer what I asked you and get back to me. Think about it and get back to us. And if you can't answer that question, then you have some work to do and you need to go do that. Go away, do that on your own, find your answer, then you can come back and tell us about it. And by the time you figure it out, you'll feel better because you'll actually have a direction. Can you ask me nicely? What have you said that's nice? Everything you've done has been very all about you and super self-absorbed. I get it that you're going through something, but that doesn't mean you have to be completely like self-centered and self-absorbed and inconsiderate. You can still be nice about it. And you haven't been, because you totally just came into a live stream where everybody's having a good time and made it all about you, which like, not the place. You need to go answer my question. You got locked out of a garage by ghosts once? Do tell. Like, there are people who will help you, but only if you help yourself. And you're not right now. You're not doing anything that I asked you to do, which is one question, which is really simple question. So go figure it out. Come back. All right. Back to what we were talking about when we were all having a good time. And if you would like to enjoy this good time, maybe stop thinking about yourself for a second and think about this 1907 haunted house. Cool? All right. When I was down in that dump, all I wanted to do was think about anything else, because when it was quiet and when I didn't have a task in front of me, I would immediately think about how I was feeling. And that's like the worst place to be. So I would stay distracted. So let's not take a distraction and make it about that. Yeah. Hey, Beetlejuice. All right. Tina, are you in Crow of Judas watching Community right now? Because this triple cool thing. Oh my God, stop. Okay. So, I am somewhat like you, Harry, he answered. I feel my capacity to experience a terror greater than anything yet conceived by the human mind. Look here, Hammond, I rejoined. Let us drop this kind of talk. For heaven's sake, we shall suffer for it. Depend upon it. He's like, believe me, man, if we start talking about being scared, we're going to get ourselves all scared. Pimpin'! We parted, and I undressed quickly and got into bed. The room was in total darkness. Oh no, now he's all alone after his friend got him all freaked out. Oh God. The atom of gas that still remained alight. Oh, gas lights. Back in the day. Did not illuminate a distance of 3 inches around the burner. A little nightlight. I drew my arm across my eyes as if to shut out even the darkness and tried to think of nothing. It was in vain. The themes touched on by Hammond kept obtruding themselves on my brain. While I was laying still as a corpse, hoping I should hasten repose, an awful incident occurred. Okay, so this doesn't sound like a day that they had opium. This sounds like a day they were just chilling. A something dropped, as it seemed, from the ceiling upon my chest, and the next instant I felt 2 bony hands encircling my throat, endeavoring to choke me. I haven't read this yet. I'm reading this for the first time with you guys, so. Ah! Sorry, Preston, you have to have an attention span to hang out with us. I am no coward, and am possessed of considerable physical strength. The suddenness of the attack strung... Oh my God, it's already upside down. Okay. Strung... Where? Where does it go? Okay, the next line that's upside down is not the next line. Strung. Let me see. Where does that begin? There's that. Strung every nerve. I'm reading upside down now, so... Thank you, Beetlejuice. It'd be more fun. Okay, so I'm reading this upside down, so be patient, because my brain has to flip it right side up. Okay. Strung every nerve to the highest tension. In an instant, I wound 2 muscular arms around the creature. Oh, humility. He's like, I'm no coward. I'm so brave. And then he's like, I had my big 2 muscular arms around the creature. Rah. Yeah, you're so strong. Oh my God. Ooh. Mr. Hammond. Or Mr. whatever. I don't remember his name. Around the creature. And squeezed it against my chest. In a few seconds, the bony hands that had fastened on my throat loosened their hold, and I was free to breathe once more. I'm going to have to flip this thing upside down. Oh, geez, so muscular. Romantic fiction. Right, Preston? I'm telling you. All right, I'm going to flip this over so that I can read it this way. Oh, that's so much easier. Then commenced a struggle of awful intensity, immersed in profound darkness, totally ignorant of the nature of the thing by which I was so suddenly attacked, finding my grasp slipping every moment, by reason, it seemed to me, of the entire nakedness of my assailant, bitten. Ew, he could feel that it was not clothed. Maybe flip your head around. Nap. Bitten with sharp teeth in the shoulder, neck, and chest, having every moment to protect my throat against a pair of sinewy, agile hands, which my utmost efforts could not confine. These were circumstances which required all strength, skill, and courage. At last, after a silent, deadly, exhausting struggle, I got my assailant under by incredible efforts. Let me see if I can scroll this thing. Oops. I don't think it's working. I'm trying to scroll down. Let me see if I can. No. Okay. Great. Once pinned with my knee on what I made out to be its chest, I knew I was the victor. I rested for a moment to breathe. I heard the creature beneath me panting in the darkness. Let me see if I can get it to scroll up. There we go. Where is it? Panting. Squeezing against my chest. Sorry, I'm trying to scroll. All right, I rested a moment to breathe. I heard the creature. Yeah, there we go. All right. Ugh. Got my laptop upside down now. What? What's happening? Okay, I don't know what you guys are talking about. Okay. I rested for a moment to breathe. I heard the creature beneath me panting in the darkness and felt the violent throbbing of a heart. Ugh. It was apparently as exhausted as I was. At this moment, I remembered that I usually placed under my pillow before going to bed a large yellow silk pocket handkerchief. Oh, what about my hanky? Ugh. I felt for it instantly. It was there. In a few seconds more, I had, after a fashion, pinioned the creature's arms. Oh, he used his handkerchief to tie its arms. I now felt tolerably secure. Never loosing my hold for an instant, I slipped from the bed to the floor, dragging my captive with me. I had but a few steps to reach the gas burner. Is he going to try to burn this animal? He doesn't even know what it is yet. What if it's a little kid or something? Like, what are you doing, man? Ugh. Okay. Quick as lightning, I released my grasp with one hand and let on the full flood of light. Oh, he turned the light up. Sorry. Okay. Then I turned to look at my captive. I cannot even attempt to define my sensations the instant after I turned on the gas. I suppose I must have shrieked with terror. For a minute afterward, my room was crowded with the inmates of the house. I shudder now as I think of that awful moment. I saw nothing. Raven. Yes, I had one arm firmly clasped around a breathing, panting, corporeal shape. My other hand gripped with all its strength a throat as apparently fleshy as my own, and yet with this living substance in my grasp, with its body pressed against my own. Oh, I always have to flip it over to scroll. Why? Why is that? And in all the bright glare of gas, I absolutely beheld nothing, not even an outline, a vapor. Painted. It breathed. I felt its breath upon my cheek. It struggled fiercely. It had hands. They clutched me. Its skin was smooth like my own. There it lay, pressed close up against me, solid as stone and yet utterly invisible. Just then Hammond entered my room at the head of the household. As soon as he beheld my face, which I suppose must have been an awful sight to look at, he hastened forward, crying, "Great heavens, Harry, what has happened?" "Hammond, Hammond," I cried, "come here. Oh, this is awful. I have been attacked in bed by something or other, which I have hold of, but I can't see it. I can't see it." Hammond, doubtless struck by the horror expressed in my countenance, made one or two steps forward with an anxious yet puzzled expression, A very audible titter burst from the remainder of my visitors. This suppressed laughter made me curious. Hammond, I cried again despairingly. Come to me. I can hold the thing but a short while longer. It is overpowering me. Help me, help me. Harry, whispered Hammond, approaching me. You have been smoking too much opium. I swear to you, Hammond, that this is no vision, I answered in the same low tone. Don't you see how it shakes my whole frame with its struggles? If you don't believe me, convince yourself. Feel it. Touch it. Hammond advanced and laid his hand on the spot I indicated. A wild cry of horror burst from him. He had felt it. In a moment, he had discovered somewhere in my room a long piece of cord and was the next instant winding it and knotting it about the body of an unseen being that I clasped in my arms. Harry, he said in a hoarse voice, for though he preserved his presence of mind, he was so deeply agitated. Harry, it's safe now. You may let go if you are tired. Let me see where that picks up. The thing can't move. Yeah? I'm starting to figure this out. It's all mixed up. It's weird that it's printed all upside down, though. Hammond's calling him out. I was utterly exhausted, and I gladly loosed my hold. Hammond stood holding the ends of the cord that bound the invisible, twisted around his hand, while before him, self-supporting as it were, was a rope laced and interlaced and stretching tightly around a vacant space. The confusion among the guests of the house who beheld the pantomime of binding this struggling something, who beheld me almost sinking from physical exhaustion when my task of jailer was over, the confusion and terror that took possession of the bystanders when they saw all this was beyond description. The weaker ones fled from the apartment. The few who remained could not be induced to approach. Still, they doubted. I gave a sign to Hammond, and both of us, conquering our fearful repugnance to touch the invisible creature, lifted it from the ground, manacled as it was, and took it to my bed. Its weight was about that of a boy of 14. Why do you know that? Why would you? I mean, I guess. All right. Fine. Oh, let me scroll. Ugh. All right, 14. Oh, we only have a little bit before I have to switch and find where it goes. Now, my friends, I said, as Hammond and myself held the creature suspended over the bed, I can give you self-evident proof that here is a... Let me find it. Solid, ponderable body. Yes, I'm rocking this out. Half of it's upside down, and it's like in normal text, and then it's upside down, and then it's... which nevertheless you cannot see. Be good enough to watch the bed attentively. At a signal, Hammond and I let the creature fall. There was a dull sound, as of a heavy body alighting on a soft mass. The bed creaked. A deep impression marked itself distinctly on the pillow and on the bed itself. The crowd who witnessed this gave a low cry and rushed from the room. Hammond and I were alone with our mystery. Well, if it's as big as a 14-year-old boy, I think you can handle it, right? You got this. We remained silent for some time, listening to the low, irregular breathing of the creature on the bed and watching the rustle of the bedclothes as it impotently struggled to free itself from confinement. We watched together, smoking many pipes. Okay. all night long, by the bedside of the unearthly being that tossed and panted until it was apparently wearied out. Then we learned by the low, regular breathing that it slept. The next morning, the house was all astir. We had to answer 1,000 questions as to our extraordinary prisoner, for not one person except ourselves could be induced to set foot in the apartment. The creature was awake. This was evidenced by the convulsive manner in which the bedclothes were moving in its efforts to escape. There was something truly terrible in beholding, as it were, these struggles for liberty which yet were invisible. Hammond and myself had racked our brains during the long night to discover some means by which we might realize the shape and general appearance of the enigma. Throw a blanket over it, right? And then get it wet. I mean, waterboard it, but like, you'll see what shape it is. I don't know. Does it speak English? Has anyone tried talking to it? Has anyone said like, hey, can you hear me? Do you know what I'm saying? Sorry, that scared the shit out of me. Pour some paint on it. That's a good idea too. As well as we could make out by passing our hands over the creature's form, its outlines and lineaments. It is, yeah. Scared the crap out of me too, Kathy. Mike Dude, say hi.
Hi, Mike Dude.
Oh, okay. We're human. So does he speak? Can he talk? I don't know. There was a mouth, a round, smooth head without hair, a nose, which, however, was a little elevated above the cheeks. I don't know what that means. And its hands and feet felt like those of a boy. How do they know it's not a girl? Anyway. A happy thought struck me. We would take a cast of it in plaster. Oh my God. What an unpleasant process. This would give us the solid figure and satisfy all our wishes. But how to do it? The movements of the creature would disturb the setting of the plastic covering and distort the mold. Another thought, why not give it chloroform? It had respiratory organs. That was evident by its breathing. Once reduced to a state of insensibility, we could do with it what we would. Let's get a little Cosby in here. Okay. Hi, Preston. Let's see. A doctor was sent for, and after he had recovered from amazement, let me see where the story takes hold here. He administered chloroform. I'm getting really good at this. Yeah, right? Ugh. In 3 minutes afterwards, we could remove the fetters, and a modeler was engaged in covering the invisible form with moist clay. In 5 minutes more, he had a mold, and before evening, a rough facsimile of the mystery. It was shaped like a man, distorted, uncouth, and horrible, but still a man. It was small, not over 4 feet, and some inches in height, and its limbs revealed a muscular development that was unparalleled. Its face surpassed in hideousness anything I had ever seen. Gustavus Doré never conceived anything so horrible. I'm assuming that's like a sculptor or an artist of some kind. It was the physiognomy. There's a G in there for some reason. It was the physiognomy of what I should fancy a ghoul might be. It looked as if it was capable of feeding on human flesh. Well, what does that look like? Because, like, that's anything with teeth. Anything with sharp teeth. I don't know. Anyway, having satisfied our curiosity and bound everyone in the house to secrecy, it became a question What was to be done with our enigma? It was impossible that we should keep such a horror in the house. It was equally impossible that such an awful being should be let loose upon the world. Please don't kill it. Oh my God, are they going to kill it? I confess that I would have gladly voted for the creature's destruction. No! But who would shoulder the responsibility? Who would undertake the execution of this horrible semblance of a human being? The most singular part of this affair was that we were entirely ignorant of what the creature habitually fed on. So they found it because it landed on his chest and tried to strangle him. Keep it in the barn. And his umbrella pointing at it. Everything in the way of nutriment that we could think of was placed before it, but was never touched. So it wouldn't eat anything they gave it. It was awful to stand by day after day and see the clothes toss and hear the hard breathing and know that it was dying. So it's dying of starvation and they don't know what to feed it. 10, 12 days, a fortnight passed and it still lived. The pulsations of the heart, however, were daily growing fainter and had now nearly ceased. It was evident that the creature was dying for want of sustenance. While this terrible life struggle was going on, I felt miserable. I could not sleep. Well, yeah. You're starving a creature to death. Horrible as the creature was, it was pitiable to think of it, to think of the pain it was suffering. At last it died. Hammond and I found it cold and stiff one morning in the bed. The heart had ceased to beat, the lungs to inspire. We hastened to bury it in the garden. It was a strange funeral, the dropping of the viewless corpse into the damp hole. The cast of its form Hammond has still. As I am on the eve of a long journey from which I may not return, I have drawn up this narrative of an event the most singular that has ever come to my knowledge. Fitzjames O'Brien. That's the end? If they would have done like you said and covered it in paint, they could have just let it go to see what it eats. That was not a short story. That took forever. This is, the next thing is time for study and sleep, and it seems to be about sleep. And then desert conditions disappearing, glasses for sensitive eyes. Yeah, that was it? Well, we should figure out where Fitzjames O'Brien lived. In New York for 2 years. No, yeah, the home has enjoyed for the last 2 years the reputation of being haunted. So we should figure out where that was. From 1907. They did. They killed it and buried it. I don't know if they tried human blood. Or any. You would think they could have gone to like a butcher. If they were trying different foods to feed it, I'm sure that a butcher would have had something like that. What a weird story. Huh. Sorry, I'm like stunned by that. I did not expect it at all. But that is all that I had brought for this spooky Saturday, and we're at 2 hours now. So I think I am going to wrap it up, especially because it's freezing and my nose is cold. I keep going like this because my nose is cold. But, and my hands are freezing. That's not a very uplifting story. I didn't pre-read it. I wanted to experience it with you guys. So like, I didn't know it was going to end like that. I thought I would be reading like a scary story, but Here's an uplifting thing. She's going to hang out with me for a while. So she'll be here. Turn on. It is on. The heater's been on. But once I started reading scary stories, it got cold in here anyway. So I need like a nose warmer. When is the next session? Every spooky Saturday. If I am available, I am here every spooky Saturday. The last one I took down, but I did put up a little highlight from it. That was the spookiest part of Spooky Saturday when I was out hiking at night last week. And I heard somebody. And it doesn't sound the same on the video as it did in person. In the little like bright red short that I posted last week when I was out there, I heard like a man's voice go, ooh. And I was like, what is that? And I was so excited to go back and listen to it on the video, and it was not the same at all. I don't know. The camera didn't pick it up quite the way I heard it. When I found about doll in the 1930s. Oh, here's what you found. In the 1930s, black cloth rag dolls were made by a mother for their child, possibly representing her. The small childlike features realistic hair twists and pretty tiny bows. Oh. So she was made with love intended. All right, girl. If you want, I will flip. Let me see if I can turn off the... There. We'll turn it off. Ah, there she is. All right. So thank you guys for hanging out with me. I have a really high resolution camera now, so you can see like every pore on my face. But thank you guys for hanging out with me. And now that I know that, that's comforting. And me and her will be here in the future. And I'll see you guys. For Marilyn Monday, I do hope... I have a ghost tour, but I do hope to be live as Marilyn on Monday because I got my hair did and it's already started to grow out. So I need to hurry up and do it. And I have a bunch of things I need to film. And I'm going to film my intro so that I can start dropping the history debunkers from the newspapers. She is, right? Thank you, Kathy Lee, for making us all feel better about her. We should name her. She probably has a name. Maybe she can tell us her name. But I have like a bunch of like really big stories from the newspapers that I can't share yet because they're not ready. But I'm going to make videos about those so that I can tell the whole story together. And then, yeah. And then I hope you guys enjoyed the Hans Christian Andersen poem that I had Tony Walker read because it was... I hope it was worthy of his talent because he's amazing. Matilda. Do you want to be a Matilda? Well, thank you guys for hanging out. He wasn't in New York in 1907. Who wasn't? Oh, Fitz. What was his name again? Fitz Jeff something. I don't know what's happening. Every phone is buzzing. My old phone, my new phone, my old phone. Scroll up. Meeting ghosts. Turn on the heat. They killed it and buried it. Oh, Dr. Hammond should be findable. That's true. Now I have something else to look up. I'm obsessed with this newspaper thing. So actually, you know what? Let me show you how bad it is. These are all of the newspaper's windows that I have open. Like, This is Los Angeles Times. This is Body Found. This is something else. This is newspapers from Des Moines. This is newspaper San Francisco. Morning Press. Danish Hell Heist. Newspapers, Morning Press. Newspapers. These are, every single one of these is newspapers, like, or PDFs of newspapers. Oh, wait, the EFTA PDFs are from the Epstein files. Sorry, EF is Epstein files. I have a bunch of those open because I know these people. Which is a really weird feeling, by the way, to be like, oh, I know him. Department of Justice, Epstein Library. Okay, newspapers. Oh, Facebook. Newspapers. Google Photos. iMovie for videos. Google Photos is where I put all of my newspaper clippings. And then newspapers. And that's a search in newspapers. So, like, I think maybe I have a problem. It's real work. It is! He passed in 1862. Darn. Fitzjames O'Brien. Hey, I got into a really bad bike crash. I broke my shoulder and have to stay in a hospital for surgery tomorrow, and I broke my spline. Your spline or your spleen? Your spine? Spleen. Spinaline. Spinalana. I don't know. Sorry about that. If you're bored, I have a whole catalog of funny things to watch that'll make you hurt because they'll make you laugh. Can you see without glasses? Special request? Yes. Search my video catalog on my channel and you'll see none of my characters wear glasses. Enjoy. All right. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. I will see you guys on Marilyn Monday for sure, because that is what I have planned for Monday besides my tour if it doesn't get canceled. We'll see. It's a Monday, so probably. Thank you guys for hanging out with me and learning about the invisible being. It was super fun to read about, even though it had a sad ending. Thank you, Tina. Thank you, Leanne. Thank you, Kathy. Thank you, Preston, for hanging out. And there was someone else. Hold on. There was someone else. Oh, I don't know. And then Mike O was here and Crow of Judith was here. But thank you guys, and I will see you guys on Marilyn Monday, even though I know I haven't been very reliable lately. Count on it. All right. Or I'll see you on Discord before that. Bye, everybody. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Have a great night. Enjoy.